This is a short one-slide presentation, but it's very serious. It's important to any college course that the work you do and the work that you turn in is your own. There are a lot of tools out there that you can use to help you, but the work itself, the process of putting all of that together and presenting it as an assignment it's important that it's your own. So I want to very carefully go over what we consider plagiarism at College of Eastern Idaho, and what I personally consider to be plagiarism. So basically, the essential requirement of any assignment is, if you use material that doesn't come out of your own head in some fashion, you give credit for that. You cite it. You tell us where it came from. And depending on the type of assignment and the style that you might be using, if it's a paper, if you are using APA or MLA, if it's a presentation, you simply tell us where the information came from. If it is a project, same kind of thing. Just let us know that you got your information from a certain place. And as long as we can tell where that came from, and if we choose to go look it up ourselves, if you're writing a college paper, an essay that uses a certain style, then there's a specific way to go about doing that, depending on the style. So it's I think pretty obvious. I think that you know at what point you need to cite, but in case there's a gray area, when in doubt, cite. If you're not quite sure whether something should be cited, whether you should provide information about the source, then do it. That's always the safe bet. There are many examples of ways to go about essentially cheating. There are websites that write papers. There is artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, that can write essentially a paper for you. Here's an important thing to know. We at College of Eastern Idaho, and at any college or university, have access to plagiarism checkers, including checkers for ChatGPT. Once something has been generated or is out there on the internet, plagiarism checkers go out, and so when you submit an assignment, I run it through a plagiarism checker. And if that assignment came from somewhere, it's going to tell me how much of it came from elsewhere. And usually what I see is, when you're citing something or referring to something specifically, it pops up and tells me where it came from, and you've done the same thing. You've cited it, you've put it in quotation marks, or you've paraphrased it and then used a reference to tell me where it came from. That's the deal. That's all you have to do. There have been occasions in my classes and in other classes at CEI where someone has essentially just pulled something off the internet and presented it as their own. It's not that hard to find. It's not that hard to discover. And obviously, I mean, it's self-defeating for you because you're not learning anything from that process, but it also is, in the academic world, kind of the worst form of cheating. So we want to be able to identify when that happens. So if you use ChatGPT or other AI, if you use Grammarly, I believe these are all tools. If you use Purdue OWL to help your writing or to help you write a citation, these are all tools, but they cannot replace doing your own work and citing, referring to where your information came from when it's not coming out of your own head. If you ever have any questions about whether something is plagiarism or potentially plagiarism, let me know. We can have a chat about that. It's always better to ask sooner than later and to not submit something if you're not sure. And as I said, when in doubt, cite.